This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Wish you could become a morning person? You know the type, up before the sun, early morning runs, first one to the office with donuts and a smile. How do they do it? Easy. With the new Galaxy Watch 8, sleep tracking and personalized insights from Samsung Health help you improve so you can wake up to a whole new you. One who, dare I say it, skips the snooze? It's possible. Train your sleep with Galaxy Watch 8. Learn more at Samsung.com. Requires compatible Samsung Galaxy phone, Samsung Health app, and Samsung account.
The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast.
This is 70,000 Tons of Metal, the original, the world's biggest heavy metal cruise. 60 bands, 4 days, 1 cruise ship, only 3,000 tickets. It's like having an all-access backstage pass. January 29th to February 2nd, 2026. From Miami, Florida to Nassau, the Bahamas, and back. Go to 70,000tons.com and book now.
Hello. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I am wonderful. Just give me 1 second to pull up all
No
my
worries.
notes. Where are you guys located geographically while I'm doing this?
Well, a little bit everywhere. I'm in Florida. We've got guys in New Orleans and North Carolina.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I lived in Florida for about 15 years down on the St. Pete side.
Oh, okay, very good. I'm up in just south of Jacksonville.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yep.
so not too far.
Not at all. Where are you at now?
I am in Richmond, Virginia.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, a little bit different, but still pretty cool, I think.
Good. How long you been up there?
22 years.
All right.
Wow, I guess that really dates me. So yeah.
Been there for a minute.
Anyway, let's just jump into the Black Sky.
Yeah, man.
I think one of the things I like doing about this show is that I come across artists and bands that I would have never heard of otherwise, and get to listening to them. And so for those not familiar like myself, can you give us a 2-sentence elevator boardroom pitch?
Yeah, I think with Under Black Sky, you're going to get musically, you're going to get well composed songs that are melodic, heavy, diverse. And if you listen to a multitude of our songs back to back, you'll see, you won't get bored easily. You'll go from one extreme to the next. But I'd say all in all, well composed, modern, hard rock / alt metal feel to it. But I think there's something there for everybody.
Okay. Let's just jump right in then. I'll Show You is described as a battle cry of defiance against doubt and betrayal. How do you translate such raw emotion into a track that resonates universally without losing the song's personal intensity? Sorry, I can't speak.
No, you're right. I think that I think everyone's got their own. I won't say their own demons, but it's like everyone's got something to prove to somebody. Whether it's something you have something to prove to yourself. You have something to prove to some outside force, whatever the case may be, which could be, could be very intense for each individual based on what it is you're fighting. And so I think that, when it came to writing the song, there's a it's an emotional based song, and it can kind of get you, it can move you from feeling a certain way into overcoming or kind of centering and finding who you are again. And I think that was the most important thing. I think that sometimes we get so sidetracked on everything else around us, we start losing focus and losing a little bit of self through all the noise out there. And sometimes it's if you're not careful and you don't center yourself every once in a while, you'll find yourself too far off center and find yourself there and say, listen, I've got to get back to who I was before, and find out, I need to get back on track.
Right. And a lot of times that's not so easy though, but yeah.
No. It's a very difficult task. And the further you are, the harder it becomes.
Yes. So the band's narrative involves the order beneath, and I think it adds like a mysterious lore to the whole project. But how does this storytelling shape the thematic and sonic identity of Bad Blood?
Well, I think that it's important for us as musicians and and fans of music, quite honestly, to produce something that was just more than music. It's hard to say as a musician and an artist because music is usually the only thing, and it is the most important thing, which I would still believe that it is. But now in the environment that we are in, there is it's so clouded with so many amazing artists out there. It becomes very, very hard to stand out. And so I think the concept behind creating another universe or creating an escape for people to not just listen to great music, but tend to get lost in it. And sometimes you need a little shove, you need a little push into the direction to get you to start thinking creatively. Or when we talk about Bad Blood and the concept that Bad Blood is and the story that's created around it, you really can put this thing on and listen to the first song and listen to the very last song and let it take you on an entire journey while you're appreciating the music itself, as opposed to, listening to a random track and then 30 seconds later saying, yep, I think I got it. I'm going to move to the next one. So I think that we're missing that today.
Oh man, you're preaching to the choir. I struggle with that. In the podcast too, we've got great content and the timeout rate is like 30 seconds to a minute. Yeah. Everybody's dipping.
Yeah, it's the time of people getting really vested into a conversation or vested into a project and wanting to learn more without saying squirrel and moving on to something different is very, very difficult nowadays.
Absolutely. Let's stay with the band for a second here. Each band member embodies a symbolic role, right? The prophet, the executioner, the seer, and the redeemer. How do you think these archetypes influence your creative process and live performances?
So everything is like anything else. When you step into this particular role, like I said, outside of just the music side of things, there's a big difference between just creating music and then stepping on stage and then performing, where you're truly creating an experience for the person showing up. And so I think that when you have these four enigmatic characters, you really can put on a different persona and really kind of put on a theatrical experience that would totally engage the audience in a different way than a handful of guys up there jumping around just playing good music. So I think that it definitely lends itself to the person that loves live music, but also wants a little bit more. They want to be entertained. They want to walk away saying, wow, that was, a full immersed experience that, one, I appreciate. Number two, I want to come back and do it again.
Do you feel the transformation from, walking into the dressing room in street clothes to walking out on stage? Is there a transformational, 100%. Meditative thing?
100%. There is, I will tell you, everyone's got, and I think that everyone's got their own lives, and we do what we do. When we get a chance to step out on stage, it is you're transformed to a different environment, a different universe, and you become a character in a bigger story. And it's a 180. And but and I think that it's a form of art for sure. At the same time, it is a little bit of an escape to to live out another dimension, a fantasy, doing something different. Because you know what, real life sometimes it gets old, right? Life can be a bitch, and sometimes it's okay to escape a little bit.
I don't think it's any different than the Civil War reenactors or the Star Wars people or the furries. It's all just that whatever, that little escapism and
Hey,
yeah.
life is too short not to embrace. And you know what? It doesn't really matter what people think. You'd like to think that people will really dig what you're doing. The reality is, you're not going to make everybody happy, and that's totally okay. But I think if you embrace it and you're okay with it, the people that do really lean in and like what you're doing will become mega fans, and that's totally okay.
It's great. Do you when you're writing this music, are you envisioning the whole visual aspect or theatrical aspect as you're going, or are you kind of adapting it later on?
Uh, I think it's becoming more. I think when we first started, it became like a spark. It became something that was an idea, and we used that for inspiration. And I think the more and more we went down that path, the more and more the idea was consuming. So I think that what you're going to see when Bad Blood comes out, you'll see a full immersed concept, along with the story, along with everything else that's going to come out around it. But I think even more so after Bad Blood, and we move into chapter two and things that we're doing in the future, we're already working on, it's going to become more and more and more immersed into this concept.
Nice. Are you good with a few out of the box questions?
Sure, absolutely.
If the fracture in the sky and the awakening described in your narrative had a physical manifestation in your concerts, what kind of immersive visual or sensory experience would fans encounter?
Wow. Well, I think that sometimes less is more. I think sometimes the absence of something huge can sometimes be just as effective. Just like sometimes silence is very, very important. And sometimes when the lights go down and there is silence involved, there's some introspect that people gain out of that. And I think that they're going to see a lot of that. And I think that there's certain things that happen throughout the album and in our music where there you'll be all the sensory minded, they're extremely heightened. But when you go from an extremely heightened sense or state of mind into a nothingness, can sometimes be more impactful than just high energy, an explosive energy.
Is that something you're conscious then when you're sequencing the record as well?
Yes, 100%. Yeah, and it's tough because, like I said, when we go back to what we were talking about before, when you've got the attention span of the majority of the listeners is so short, it is very difficult. But you still have to maintain a certain level of energy. But if you don't drop out from time to time, let certain songs breathe a little bit, and give some people an opportunity to breathe. Because sometimes you can there's some bands that are so good at just once they go, and there's no turning off. It's heavy all the time, and they're moving, and it's at an all-time high all the time. And I dig that. At the same time, it can leave some exhaustion as well. So I'm always a big fan of trying to, when you're composing certain things, getting to a point where you can come to a crescendo, but let it breathe a little bit. Get some introspect so people can appreciate the highs and the energy when it drops down to something that is maybe a little bit under, the full pounding. Let's get to the end.
Okay. You still good with that was okay?
Yeah.
So the album features signals and hidden truths that unlock each track. If listeners could collect all these as real world objects, what form would these signals take, and how might the fans interact with them?
I think people, in the real world, people get signals and they get messages from all different types of medium. I think especially from today, especially with social media, and with certain other media outlets, you don't know what you're finding, who's telling the truth, who's lying, who's got an agenda, there's so many different questions, but there are a lot of there is a lot of symbolism in what's going on in everyday life that people can definitely pick up on. Ours is just a little bit more. It was much more in your face, where you might pick up a symbol that leads you down a certain path of awakening that you might find, you know, uh, on a thread in social media somewhere, that they're a group of people taking you down this way because this is their way of believing in something, and that could be a sign for you. Where ours is literally a potential symbol or something that you might see that could be appearing subliminally, coming through multiple channels. So I think that that's a lot of where the lore goes to, is having an opportunity to really be awake to and being awake in your senses to actually receive the symbols or the sigils that are coming through, and what that might be telling you.
Are you guys planning on taking this out on the road?
Absolutely. We will actually literally be on the road. We're doing a run in Texas that we literally, when the album comes out on the 24th, we'll be in the middle of it. So we're anxious to get out there, not just to release the album and support it, but start meeting some people and getting some of these live shows under our belt so people can really understand the whole concept of where we're coming from.
Nice. And how do you prepare? Are you going to be able to take some theatrical elements with you? I know it's club level stuff, but
Sure. Yes, and I think that all I can tell you is it will be very cinematic. It is very well thought out. There is a beginning, and there is a middle, and there is an end, and there's things in between that we have planned out. So for people that are considering picking up a ticket, coming out to see us, please do. I promise you won't be bored. You will be entertained, and you'll walk out of there. Our goal is you'll walk out of there saying, you know what, I didn't expect that, but I'm so glad I came.
great. And shoot, I was going to ask you something else. Fans want to find you. How do
Yes.
they do so?
They can go to underblacksky.com. They can search Under Black Sky on all major social outlets. We are very active on just about all of them. We have a Facebook group. It's a public group for now, that is called The Order Beneath. So if you want to learn more about the lore, more about the concept of Under Black Sky, storyline, really kind of get into the nitty gritty, learn about some of the sigils and what's going on, and just having some fun, being a part of the creative process of the band, I highly encourage you to join the group. This is where we get a chance to connect with you guys one-on-one, and quite honestly, you are the inspiration. So everything that we're doing is obviously it comes from within, but at the same time, I believe that as we grow, we want to be bigger and better and greater, and that doesn't happen without collaboration, and it doesn't happen without a community. And so we're really kind of looking to build that community of people to help be a part of the band and help us move forward.
Excellent. And that brings me to the end of what I had. I hope that wasn't too bad. I know I meandered
No, it's
quite a
great.
bit.
No, yeah, you're
Sorry,
great.
my dog is doing stupid stuff here.
I get it. I got it too.
At the most inappropriate times. Before we go, can I get you to do a bumper for me, though?
Of course.
Hold on. Be your band, your name, band, and you're listening to the Brutally Delicious podcast.
Brutally Delicious podcast. It's going to be a tongue twister.
Yes.
Yes. My name is KRYSIS from the band Under Black Sky, and you're This is KRYSIS from Under Black Sky, and you're listening and watching the damn it, say it again.
Brutally Delicious.
Brutally Delicious. That's easy enough. Okay. This is KRYSIS from the band Under Black Sky, and you're listening to Brutally Delicious podcast.
Thank you, my friend. And I've got one quick question for you. It sounds really strange, but we have a whole rebrand coming up here starting on Halloween, and we're doing a Halloween Advent calendar.
Great.
Every band, or not every band, but lots of bands are contributing like a 2-minute or less for shorts, a Halloween story, spooky story, any kind of paranormal, whatever you want to do. I've had people write songs for it, whatever they want to do. If you're interested, I know it's a quick term, but it can be done on your phone. This is real easy and simple.
Yeah. I'd love to.
Do you have a pen right there?
No, but I've got a phone. I can write on something.
It's really easy. brutallydelicious@gmail.com.
Oh, that is easy. Okay. Easy enough.
I've got a couple spaces left if you want to contribute. Just send it, whatever you want. Keep it like 2 minutes or less.
Perfect. Love it.
It could be a Halloween memory from when you were a kid, anything.
Awesome.
I did it last year for Christmas. We did whatever, the 12 days of Christmas, and people loved it. I had people telling, holiday stories, not just Christmas, but
Right.
and it turned out amazing. So we decided to do it for Halloween too.
I love it.
So anyway, that brings me to the end. Hope it wasn't too bad.
No, Bruce, thank you.
Yeah, I'd love for you to join us. So just send that on over when you can.
Will do. Thank you, brother. Appreciate
All right,
you.
take care. Be well.
Talk to you soon. You too.
All right, bye.